It is August, which means obviously a whole month of not having to go to school. Obviously, I'm a teacher. It's going to happen. We're going to do some work. But it also means, yes, a whole month of not having to go to school, reading. Bout of Books is this month as well. The third Bout of Books of the year. Very exciting. There's so much I want to read. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week and then movie reviews here at the weekend. If you haven't already seen my July TBR, I will leave it linked up above because there are a couple of carryovers because July is always that weird month where I do have a week of not being in school in July, but generally I'm like ill, tired, busy, potentially still in school. So yeah, July is always a funny one where I may or may not read books. But yes, Bout of Books is this month, so look out for that Bout of Books TBR. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the vlog. I have some August releases to tell you about. I have a September release to tell you about, and then I have some audiobooks that I definitely want to read. So first of all, one that I've already started but haven't finished yet. I've read about 25% of it, so I'm going to read the last 75% before it's published on the 17th of August. If you are going through the airport though, this is already out at the airport. This is More Confessions of a 40-something Fuck Up by Alexandra Potter. This one, of course, is the second novel in the series that is on Disney Plus called Not Dead Yet. So the first one, Confessions of a 40-something Fuck Up, was amazing and I loved it, and I'm gonna make you a book versus TV series. I just have to sit down and film it because who has time? And I am 25% into this, and it's wonderful to be back in Nell's world again, but slightly confusing having watched the Not Dead Yet series and then kind of jumping back into the book world. So I maybe should have finished this one before starting the series, but so enjoying this one. 17th of August, but it's already out in airports if you are going through the airport on your summer holidays. Then 1st of August, I have just started listening to this. I'm going to be buddy listening with Hayley, but it is a short story mini novella spin-off from The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This is The Honeymoon Crashers, and it's an Audible original, hence why it's square. And so we've both downloaded the audiobook for this one. I think it's about 3 hours long or something. I mean, I do this on double speed. I think I've got 2 hours left. But I will be listening to this one literally today once I stop filming this video, and then Hayley and I are going to talk about it, and I'm excited. It's been a while since I read The Unhoneymooners. I will leave my sort of Christina Lauren video playlist thing linked up above because we did a whole readathon of reading Christina Lauren novels that we had not yet got to, and then did a live show to talk about them. So that was very exciting. And then another August release that I saw on NetGalley and I just couldn't sort of resist. And I think that the pen name that the author has chosen, I mean, potentially it could be their real name, but I think the pen name that the author has chosen is also very sensible. This is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. 'Tis the season to fall in love by Laurie Gilmore. I know nothing about this. It's Pumpkin Spice Cafe romance novel, and it comes out on the 30th of August, and I just got it from NetGalley and I was like, I love the sound of this. So I'm looking forward to sitting down with a cup of coffee. I do still have, I like hold over some pumpkin spice bits and pieces because I love a pumpkin spice. So I do still have some bits and pieces left over. And this will sort of kickstart the start of pumpkin spice season for me, 30th of August. Yeah, like I say, can't really tell you an awful lot about it because it was a total, like, I saw the cover and the title and the author, Laurie Gilmore. Okay. And was just like, yes, have to do that. So I'm very excited for this September release. It comes out at the end of September, but I'm going to pop this one in my Bout of Books TBR because I'm just really excited about reading it. And I feel like this author had another September release that I read in a August Bout of Books TBR before. This one is You Could Be So Pretty by Holly Bourne, and it says beauty comes at a price and girls must pay. And having read Holly Bourne's previous adult novels, I think that this one is going to be a wonderful sort of commentary on what it's like being a young girl in today's day and age with beauty standards. It's wonderful because we talk about beauty standards and what they mean and don't mean in my year 5-6 class. And I think it's amazing that we're kind of all aware that these things are not made up by real people, but made up by whole industry. And yeah, so I'm excited to dive into this one. I think it's going to be probably a tough read, but probably an amazing read. So I'm really sort of excited about it, but I'm saving it specifically for my Bout of Books TBR. So I'll be jumping into this one on the 21st of August when Bout of Books starts. So that's August and September releases. I have a couple of audiobooks that are total holdovers from July. And then one that I started in July that I haven't finished yet as well. But yeah, audiobook wise, I could possibly add more to this list. It depends what comes up from my library holds, and so we'll see. Obviously I still want to read It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. Has this been on my June and my July TBR? Okay, I'll get to it eventually. I'm just not that motivated to get to it, and so yeah, please let me know. Should I read it or should I just leave it? I don't know. But I am very excited. As soon as I've finished The Honeymoon Crashers, I will be moving on to, if I can find it. Yes, there it is. The Lush and Gorgeous. I've seen this book out in the wild and I'm like very tempted to buy it as a cover buy. Talking at Night by Claire Daverley. I've heard people who have read this one have just said that it is amazing and it is so relatable, and so I'm very, very excited to pick it up. And I've really not read an awful lot about it. I've read a very short blurb, but I didn't get to it in July, even though my Audible, when I finished listening to one book, wanted to start playing it. It was like, here you go, Katrina. And I was like, no. We've got an order we need to do these things in. I've got library books going back. And in case you were wondering, this is the US cover. And then the UK Audible cover is a lot more orange than this. So that's interesting because I love this cover. And then finally another one that I started in July but haven't yet finished, but I'm not listening to it on my own, so that's why. And this is True Story, What Reality TV Says About You by Danielle J. Lindemann, and she was on the Shiny Happy People series, and I saw that she had a book and I was like, have to have that book, want to have that book. So I have started listening to it. I feel like I'm about 25% into that one as well. So books that I have finished a quarter of, I'm going to finish in the month of August. That's the general theme for this readathon / books that I will listen to with someone else or save for the Bout of Books readathon. I mean, it's not the longest TBR of all time, and given that I like to do 7 books in 7 days for Bout of Books, it could potentially be longer, as I say, depending on what audiobooks come up in my library holds. You never know. But yeah, I've enjoyed non-fiction, and I like having a non-fiction on my TBR. So even though I didn't read that in July, I did read a different non-fiction, and I really like having a non-fiction on there. I do have an entire non-fiction playlist if you've come here for the non-fiction. But yeah, Bout of Books wise, I'll be doing the first 4 days of Bout of Books, so I want to read at least 4 books in those 4 days. I've got a couple of busy days in those 4 days, so those will be audiobook heavy, but then I do have some time to sit and read in those other days, and then after that I'm going to get on a Disney cruise, so I'm not going to be reading, not going to lie. But look out for that vlog. Speaking of which, make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future bookish content, Bout of Books vlog and Disney cruise vlog, because going to be doing that one for you. As always, please do let me know what you are going to be reading in the month of August. Also, please tell me if you are going to be doing Bout of Books alongside me as well. I'm always excited if other people are doing it. We can kind of encourage each other. And I will try this time to do some of the reading in place times. I think at least 2 of them line up with UK times, and I might be able to do them maybe on the Wednesday or the Thursday of the Bout of Books readathon. So yes, I will see you with my next video. Thank you so much for watching.